Hey guys, what's up? Whoops, sorry. Jared here. Dex and Dice, just going to do a quick little video about the TCG debacle that just happened a couple of days ago. For those of you that don't know, about 4-ish days ago, maybe 5, TCG had a visual glitch on their end where it was showing on our end, the seller's end, where orders were stuck in processing. Some orders were making it through, but the vast majority were being stuck in processing. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, usually when you get in there and you use the old version of the stuff instead of the new UI, because the new UI is booty cheeks, it'll show you your order list. They'll be in green, which is like, hey, these are good to go. You're like, cool, all right. So the only reason we got a slight little heads up on this was because we sold a $300 Pokemon card. We went to go see what the details were on it, like more details than what the email shows you. So we went to go look for it, couldn't find it, scrolled down. We had like 2 or 3 in-store orders, and then below those were 60, 65 orders stuck in processing. We were like, holy crap. Okay, so what is this? So we didn't notice that until probably like 6 or 7 p.m. and we closed at 8. So I was like, okay, this is dumb. I'm gonna email TCG player and see what's going on. Woke up in the morning, about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a response email being like, this is a known visual glitch, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. Not cool, but okay. So this tells me that, one, TCG has most likely outsourced their IT, coding, technical, whatever the hell you want to call it. We'll just call it IT just to make things easy. They have probably most likely outsourced their IT and only contract something when they need something done, which means they most likely don't have any kind of like in-house IT ready to go and solve issues like right off the dick. And if they do have an IT department like that, it's probably super skeleton crew to where like they maybe couldn't have literally handled this right because it was too much for them, and then they had to go outsource some help from somewhere else to help them, which is why it took 4, maybe 5-ish days to fix this crap, right? So that's red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, which has been a red flag for a while since eBay has bought them out, is why haven't any of the quality of life improvements that eBay has instituted migrated over to TCG? Now, I know they're 2 separate companies and all that good stuff, and migration isn't as simple as click button go, However, it makes me wonder if what TCG is currently made with, what program it's written on, whatever. I'm not a, IT kind of person, code person, whatever, so go ahead and make fun of me for that. But my point is makes me wonder if the code or system or whatever that TCG player uses for their website is just archaic as fuck, and there's no way to actually institute anything like that, like, maybe finally doing like what Manipool does, where if orders are over 14 cards, it automatically goes to a bubble mailer and makes the buyer, spend $4.99 in shipping, because, that's heavy cards. Over 14 cards is probably going to run you like $1.60 or something to ship. At the most, probably going to be non-machinable, and that's a $1.30 charge, I think, right there, just to be non-machinable. But anyways, so it makes me wonder if their system literally just can't break stuff up into something that fine to where it gives parameters for stuff like that, Like, is their program just so outdated and... Yeah, outdated is a good word. Is it just so outdated that none of those quality of life things can just translate over to there anyways without a complete and total overhaul of the site itself, you know? And that's probably the biggest red flag, but it's also the oldest red flag since, you know, eBay acquired them like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, somewhere like that. By now, they should have been able to institute something like that if the platform could sustain it. I'm going down a rabbit hole. So, those 2 red flags right there alone should be enough to make you realize that TCG, while great, don't get me wrong, TCG is good, gives you the reach and all that good stuff to, you know, sell your cards far and wide. The actual like volume is good, etc., etc. I'm just pacing around the shop, sorry guys. You know, like I get it, but maybe it's time for you guys to consider, especially those who have completely just worked their entire business model around TCG and Direct. Maybe it's time for you guys to venture to other places to at least have a backup plan for when something like this happens again. Not if, but when. Because without some kind of a huge overhaul, I don't foresee TCG Player not having something like this or worse happen. You know, granted, it could have been way worse. Oh no, some orders are going to be a couple of days later than what they should be just because of this little visual glitch or whatever. But just imagine if like a group actually tried to do major harm to TCG for whatever fucking reason it could be, and just brought that site down to its knees. How many days, weeks, months, or whatever would it be before they could get it back up and running again? You know? Like, you gotta kind of ask yourself these questions and look a little bit farther ahead when you're in business like this. Just because, you know, it's what ifs. Might not happen, but it's a valid what if. So, if you're not looking at least mana pool, okay? At the very least, putting your magic, because that's all mana pool does right now is magic. If you're not thinking of at least putting your singles and stuff on mana pool, you're fucking up, okay? This little debacle should have showed people that you can't rely on TCG Player the way that you probably could rely on it 5, 6, 7 years ago or whatever, you know? You need to make some more safeguards, diversify, whatever. You know, I know it's a pain in the ass to either... Well, you shouldn't double list things. That's dumb. You shouldn't double list stuff. So let's not even talk about that. Let's just assume that you're going to make 2 separate inventories for each system, like a responsible person should. You know, I understand it's a pain in the ass to do, but trust me, once it gets going, it's a great compliment to what you're doing on TCG currently, you know. And if TCG were to ever go down, I could just migrate everything over to Mana Pool and not miss a beat. I might miss it on some sales because the volume isn't there, but I'd still be making sales because I would have just migrated my inventory from TCG over to Mana Pool. And then if TCG got their shit in order and went back to being operational, I could just import the CSV back over there. You know, like, no big deal. So, again, guys, this should be a teachable experience for a lot of you out there that might be new to this place, which a whole shit ton of you are, and even those of us who are grizzled veterans that have always been like, TCG's got my back, it is the greatest effing place ever. No. Stop. Get some help. No, anyways. Explore other options. Yes, the volume might not be there. Yes, I know, I hear everyone, like even Mason said something about, you know, Mana Pool where he didn't want to do it because the volume wasn't there. It's like, cool, great, I understand that, man, but this hiccup could have been a lot worse, and if it was a lot worse, what kind of damage could that have done to your business? Like, I'm sure at Mason's level, it would have been something survivable, albeit a huge pain in the ass, survivable. But like, if TCG went down for 60 days tomorrow, what would most of you do? What kind of a backup plan do you have, you know? So, anyways, I'm gonna get off of here. Maybe someone will come into the shop, because it's like, yeah, about an hour after we open. People start generally trickling in an hour, hour and a half after we open. So, anyways, guys, just diversify your shit. Try Mana Pool. Trust me on that. The fees are a lot better. It's 8% flat fee. Seller protection is amazing. Buyer protection is great. The way that they just do stuff is awesome. Yes, it's not as, you know, resource intensive and all that as TCG Player is right now, but give them time. They'll make shit a hell of a lot better. Not that it's bad now, because it's not. It's actually really good right now. But I can only see them improving. Pollen, you gotta love it. But anyways, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Just heed my words, man. Put your inventory somewhere else. Split it up. Do whatever you think is necessary to keep surviving. You know, if you just want to put your bulk on Mana Pool, by all means, just put your bulk on Mana Pool. If you want to do like we do, where we generally try to split $3 and up goes on to TCG, $3 and under goes on to Mana Pool, do something like that. You know, whatever you feel is comfortable to even give another platform a shot, fucking do it. Okay? Just do it. Be like Nike and just do it. Alright, guys. I'll talk to you later.